Now, bend the right knee a little bit. Push through your left leg. Now extend your right leg. Bend your left knee. Extend through your right leg. Now do that again. Right knee bends. Right leg extends. Left knee bends. Left knee extends. Now extend both legs. Try this. But then what I want you to do is put a micro bend in your knees instead of locking your knees, and push with your index finger and lengthen through the side of your body and move your hips back toward the wall behind you. So with your knees bent, keep a little bend in the knees. So some people will tell you to straighten your legs in down dog. I want you to just keep a little softness. If you ever think about a dog's knee, a dog has a little bend in its knee. It doesn't have a straight leg like you. So think of that. So a little bit of bend in your knee, and then come forward to a plank. Now you're going to straighten your legs, come into a plank. And then exhale, drop down to your knees. Bring your chest to the floor between your hands, your chin to the earth. Your toes are still on the floor. So that's Ashtanga Namaskar, 8 points, Ashtanga. Then press into your hands and slide forward Cobra, keeping your elbows bent. And then push into your hands, lift your chest, your hips, and push your seat to your heels. Coming onto your knees, lift your knees up, downward facing dog. So just notice how the biomechanics of the body works perfectly with that measurement of down dog. On your inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, drop down to your knees, bend your elbows, bring your chest and your chin to the floor. Press into your hands, slide your chest forward, Cobra, keep your elbows bent. Exhale, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels, lift your knees up, downward facing dog. If you don't want assist today or you don't want lotions, raise a leg and down dog split. Thank you. Connect to your Ujjayi pranayama. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, engage Mula Bandha, lift up at the pelvic floor. You're going to keep that lift through the whole practice today. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Now, and inhale, come forward to a plank. Look at the wall in front of you. Now, exhale, bend your elbows 2 inches, chaturanga. So your elbows are next to your ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Move forward and up. Take the knees and thighs and shins off the ground and up dog. Ah, ha, ha. Exhale, downward facing dog. So a lot of people will tell you to drop down to your knees and your shins. What I want you to do is keep Mula Bandha engaged and actually sustain yourself in the air. On your inhale, come forward to a plank. Look at the wall in front of you. Exhale, bend your elbows next to your ribs, chaturanga. Inhale, move forward and up, upward dog. Knees and shins off ground. Exhale, roll over the toes. Go back, downward facing dog. Feel the difference there. Whoa. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Soften the knees. Slowly start to walk the feet toward your hands. Stop when your ankles are underneath your hips. Now, here, unlike down dog, I want you to extend your legs. But if you extend your legs and your hands lift up, you're going to take blocks and you're going to put them underneath your hands. So why do I have blocks? I'm going to put my blocks underneath my hands. I'm going to press into my feet. I'm going to activate my quadriceps. I'm going to lift my quadriceps up. And I'm going to push me away as you fold forward. Good. Exhale, 1. Inhale. So angel, put your hands on 2 blocks. Exhale, 2. Blocks are not a bad thing. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Here again, keep lifting your quadriceps up. Notice if you're bending in your knees in a forward fold. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Now bend your knees. Step your feet out as wide as your mat. Come to a squat. Bring the hands together and prayer press out with the forearms, squeeze in with the knees. You can keep your blocks where they were. You may need them. Yeah, don't throw them to the side. Like you wouldn't do that with a baby. Think of them as babies. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Then place the hands on the floor. Come sit down. And pick up your chant book. We'll chant a little bit. So this is the first time you've been in open class with me. Yeah, because I know you come to Triguna with me. I'm a little different teacher in this style class. Well, like in the Triguna is very different. Like, in a lot of ways, this even kind of weaves into the exploration of the month. In yoga philosophy, you hear yoga philosophy, yoga psychology, and we have to acknowledge that yoga is not orthodoxy. It's not like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, where they came up with one book and we all follow one book. There's many different schools of philosophy. It's kind of like the Greeks, who had many different schools of Greek philosophy, and they all debated each other. Yoga and Hinduism is like that. It has a lot of different schools of thought and a lot of different schools of philosophy, and they would debate each other. But one thing they all believe is that nature, and when I say nature, I mean that green stuff outside, but also the fact that you have a body. That's part of nature. A lot of times in the West, we like to disassociate ourselves from nature. We think that we're not part of that thing out there. That's why we try to tame it. Like that's the key theme in like Western civilization. Can I get nature under control and control nature, right? The yogis didn't believe that you had to control nature because you were part of nature. You had to control yourself, and you had to control yourself by noticing actions and how actions related to gunas. And we talk about this in Triguna, like that there are 3 gunas. There's rajasic, which is heat building, it's fast, it's active. In nature, I would think of rajasic as like water when it's liquid. Like, because water when it's liquid, it's fast, it runs like, if there's 2 things that can mess up a house: fire and water. Water damage, because it just spreads so quickly and you can't control it, right? So when water is H2O and liquid form, it's rajasic, it moves quickly. But then when H2O is ice, it's tamasic. It's hard, it's steel, it's cold. But then when H2O is steam, it's light, it's like a gas. It's very, has a lot of infinity to it, right? And that's sattvic. So all yoga schools thought that nature had these 3 qualities, and these 3 qualities, these 3 gunas, we experience the world through combinations of them. We're never in a moment of just all tamasic or all sattvic or all rajasic, but we're a combination of those things. And sometimes we prefer one to the other, right? So I prefer, when I'm in that lazy state and I just want to lay on the sofa and eat potato chips, I'm in a tamasic state. Right, it's dense, it's dull, it's like there's not a lot of energy in it. But then when I'm passionate about something and I want to get something accomplished, I'm rajasic. But when I'm thoughtful and I'm contemplating, I'm sattvic. So yoga asana. And the reason why we practice yoga asana is to become more sattvic. Sattvic's closer to yoga. It's not yoga yet. All of the ancient schools believe that yoga, this union with higher consciousness, is beyond nature. Like you can start to experience it while you're in nature, but your pure state of consciousness, you're going to experience when you leave the body, right? Then you'll go back to the space of consciousness. So in yoga, what we're trying to do is always get to that closest state of yoga, sattvic, so that maybe for a moment in meditation, we can transcend that sattvic state and actually experience yoga for a few minutes. And then we're going to come back to nature, right? And we've got to deal with the gunas. However, understanding the gunas and how nature works means that you're going to change your actions within nature, right? Your actions are always going to try to be more sattvic, more light, focused, more temperate, right? Less passionate or less dull, right? The extremes of nature. So we're going to chant a little chant to nature, Narayani, the Mother Nature herself. And so we're going to turn to page 22, and we're going to chant number 34. This is from a very long puja. These are just 2 lines, but these are famous 2 lines. So we'll do this as a call and response. We'll chant Om first. Om. Om. Om Sarva Mangala Mangaliye. Om Sarva Mangala Mangaliye. Shive Sarvatatsarike. Shive Sarvatatsarike. Sharanye Trayambake Gauri. Sharanye Trayambake Gauri. Narayani Namostute. Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangaliye. Shive Sarvatatsarike. Om Sarva Mangala Mangaliye. Shive Sarvatatsarike. Sharanye Trayambake Gauri. Narayani Namostute. Sharanye Trayambake Gauri. Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangaliye. Shive Sarvatatsarike. Sharanye Trayambake Gauri. Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva Mangala Mangaliye. Shive Sarvatatsarike. Sharanye Trayambake Gauri. Narayani Namostute. Salutations to Narayani, the 3-eyed mother who is nature itself. You are all auspiciousness. Only through your blessings and grace can your children achieve self-realization or yoga. We bow down to you, Mother Nature. You can fold up your chant books and place them to the side. And then come to the front of the mat, standing in Tadasana, mountain seat. I'm going to have to yell because of this lovely music outside. All right? And so you know what? You can, if you're going to use blocks, and it's okay to use blocks, put them on the first setting. It's a little easier than having them on that higher setting because they're a little wobbly. And then bring them onto your mat because that's your shoulders, and match your blocks up with the corners of your mat. Yeah, because that's your shoulder. Like, listen, in yoga, all these yoga props, they've been set up according to nature and measurements in nature. So that yoga mat is as wide as your hips. So that's why if you match the blocks up between the corners of the mat, if you stand in between the blocks, so come stand in between the two blocks. Notice how your hips fit right in between those two spaces. All right. So that's where we want you to come when you come in, like to Tadasana, right there in between those two blocks. Because now your forward fold is going to be totally different, measuring it out through nature. On your inhale, bring your hands together. Extend your arms up toward the sky, Asana. Good. Now exhale, fold over your straight legs, press your palms into the blocks. Now listen, inhale, rise up, extend your arms toward the sky, Asana. Yeah. Exhale, fold over your straight legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, extend your arms, Asana. Exhale, fold over your straight legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, soften your knees, step your right foot all the way back into a lunge and look at the wall in front of you. Exhale, your left foot back, downward facing dog, lift the hips. On your inhale, come forward to a plank, look forward at the wall in front of you. Exhale, bend the elbows 2 inches, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, stay, inhale. Exhale, 1, inhale. Exhale, 2, inhale. Exhale, 3, inhale. Exhale, 4, inhale. Exhale, 5. On your inhale, step your right foot forward in between your blocks. Exhale, your left foot next to your right and fold over your legs. Inhale, rise up, extend your arms, see the prayer. Exhale, fold over the legs again, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, extend your prayer, see the thumbs. Exhale, fold over the legs again, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, extend the arms, see the prayer. Exhale, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, soften the knees, step left foot all the way back. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift the hips. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On your inhale, lightly step your left foot forward in between your blocks. Exhale, your right foot next to your left and fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, extend the arms. Exhale, fold over the legs again, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, extend the arms. Exhale, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, extend the arms. Exhale, hands by the side to Tadasana, mountain seat. All right, changing that up on your inhale, take your hands overhead, Asana. Exhale, fold over your straight legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your head and chest, come to a flat back, look forward. Exhale, jump, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, good for you. Exhale, downward facing dog, stay. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands. Inhale, jump the feet in between the hands. Exhale, fold over the straight legs. Inhale, rise up, extend the arms. Exhale, hands by the side to Tadasana. I think the sound of Om is going to be the best thing for today. On the inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, fold over the straight legs. Inhale, lift the head and chest, prepare. Exhale, jump back, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, good. Exhale, downward facing dog, stay. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands. Inhale, jump the feet in between the hands. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise up, extend the arms, see the prayer. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, mountain seat. Ashtanga Namaskar B. On the inhale, bend the knees, raise the arms up, Utkatasana, awkward seat. Exhale, put the hands on the blocks, extend the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the head and chest, prepare. Exhale, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward, left heel down, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. One breath. Exhale, hands down to the floor, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the left foot forward, turn the right heel down into the floor, come up, warrior 1. There you go. Exhale, hands down to the earth, step back, bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Inhale, right foot forward, left heel turns down, come up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands down to the earth, step back, bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel turns down, come up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands down to the floor, step back, bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, stay. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands. Inhale, jump the feet in between the hands. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the torso and arms up, awkward seat. Exhale, come stand up to Tadasana, mountain seat. Good for you. On the inhale, bend your right knee into your chest. Give your right knee a hug with both hands. As you do that, drop your right hip even with the left. Then open up your right knee. Put your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. You don't want to really put it on your joint, but you can put it on your calf if you need to. Then bring the hands together in prayer and look at one spot that's not moving. Press into your left foot. Lift out of your belly. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Good. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, bring your right knee forward. Give your right knee a hug. And exhale, put the right foot on the floor next to the left Tadasana. So interesting enough, a lot of people will say trees are tamasic because they don't move. But actually, you doing tree seat, you realize that a tree is not tamasic. It's actually quite rajasic, because if you become tamasic, you can't stand up. So there's always this pressing down to lift up in a tree even. On your inhale, bend your left knee into your chest. Give your left knee a hug. Drop your left hip even with the right. Open up your left knee. Put your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Then really push your foot into the thigh. Bring your hands together in undulating mudra and balance. Press down to lift up. Exhale 1. So even though that energy is there, it's very subtle. Exhale 2. But it's not tamasic. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, bring your left knee forward. Give your left knee a hug. Good for you. And then exhale, put your left foot on the floor next to the right, Tadasana, mountain seat. On your inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana, awkward chair. Now exhale, bring the hands together in prayer and twist over to the right. Bring your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Now get your knees together. So this is one thing, like if your feet were apart, your knees are going to rotate. So squeeze your knees and your inner thighs together. Pull your left hip back toward the wall behind you and lift your chest to meet your thumbs instead of your thumbs to meet your armpit. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Try to sit a little lower in your seat. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Then inhale, lift the torso up. Reach the arms up. Chair. Exhale, stand up, Tadasana, mountain seat. Good for you. On the inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana, chair. Then exhale, bring the hands together and center your chest. Twist to the left. Bring the right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Here again, pull your right hip back. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift your chest up to meet your thumbs instead of your thumbs to the armpit. Exhale, 1. Inhale. So notice if your thumbs are at the armpit. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come back to center. Reach the arms up. Awkward seat. Exhale, come stand up to Tadasana, mountain seat. Good for you. On your inhale, extend your arms up toward the sky. Asana. Exhale, scoop your belly in and up. Hinge at your hips and fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the head and chest, preparing. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Good for you. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, step the right foot forward, turn the left heel down, come up, warrior 1. Exhale, open arms and hips, warrior 2. Now inhale, extend your right leg. Now as you extend your right leg, check your back foot out. Have your back foot turned in a little, your left big toe pointing toward the front left corner of your mat. Then exhale, bend your right knee, warrior 2. Now track your knee down the center of the foot. See if you can see your right big toe inside your knee. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Yep. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. And inhale, extend the right leg. Now reach as far as you can to the center of the room. Now lower your right hand on your right shin, lift your left arm up, but try to touch the ceiling with your left hand. So reach up and make your right hand really light and roll your right shoulder back to the right instead of toward the center of the chest. Exhale, 1. Inhale, good. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift all the way up to a standing position. And then exhale, bend your right knee. Put your right hand on a block outside your right foot. And then extend your left arm toward the center of the room and look into your left palm. Extended angle. Good. Now move your right knee towards your right arm energetically. Exhale, 1. So the knee and the hip are still in line with each other. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. On the inhale, place the left hand down. And exhale, step back to a downward facing dog. So easy. On the inhale, step the left foot forward, turn the right heel down, come up, Virabhadrasana 1. Then exhale, opening arms and hips, Virabhadrasana 2. Then inhale, straighten the left leg. Now check your back foot out. Turn your right big toe toward the front right corner of your mat. I once heard Iyengar talking about there should be some association with the back foot to the front foot. Then exhale, bend the left knee, warrior 2. And he's right. If the front foot's going forward, you don't want the back foot going to the side or behind you. Exhale, 1. You want them in the same direction. Energetically, exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3, unless you have a split personality and then you're splitting down the middle. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Then inhale, extend the left leg. Now reach toward the center of the room, pull your right hip back, lower your left hand down, raise your right arm up, but try to touch the ceiling with the right hand. Roll your left shoulder back, opening your chest. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. And inhale, lift all the way up to stand. And then exhale, bend the left knee, put the left hand down outside the left foot on a block. And then inhale, right arm reaches toward the center. Move the left knee toward the left arm, lining the knee up with the hip. Exhale 1. Good. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Then on the inhale, place the right hand down and step back to a downward facing dog. On the inhale, come forward to a plank and bring the big toes and heels to touch. The feet are going to come together. Now you're going to keep the feet stacked. Come onto the right hand, outside of the right foot, and lift your left arm up. Lift your hips up to take the weight out of the hand. Exhale 1. Inhale. Good. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale, gently come to a plank. And exhale onto the left hand, the outside of the left foot. Raise the right arm up. And here again, lift the hips to take a little weight out of the hand. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale, gently come out to a plank. And exhale the knees, the chest, the chin to the floor. Resetting the shoulders. Inhale, slide forward, cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes under, push the seat to the heels, and lift the knees up, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands. Inhale, jump your feet in between your hands. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bend the knees, raise the arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, come stand up. Tadasana, mountain seat. Now, everybody grab your 2 blocks and come back to the wall. So we're going to practice a few asanas at the wall, okay? One asana that's really hard for people to find the alignment in is Warrior 3. So we're going to use the wall for Warrior 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my blocks on the highest setting. I got to take a moment. I kind of measure my body out. So everybody's a little, like Mara's taller than me, so she's going to be further away from the wall than I am. So just watch what I do. I'm going to put my hands on the blocks. I'm going to put my left foot on the wall. Now notice my left knee is bent. Okay? So that means I have to move forward enough I can extend the leg. I'm going to look back. I'm going to make sure that my left toes are pointing straight down. They're not to the side. I'm not opening the hip. Whatever the foot doing, the hip is doing. So my right ankle is underneath my right hip. Now I'm going to move the blocks forward so my shoulders and wrists are in line with each other. Now I can stay here and just work on just like tree, pulling the hip back. Or I can come up onto my fingertips. Or I can lift the arms alongside the body and try to keep the shoulders in line with the hips. I'll stay here for 5 breaths, and I'll put the left hand down. I'll lift the right arm up, coming into a rotated half moon. Notice how my left foot didn't move. Then I'm going to put the hand down, and I'm going to move the blocks back and go into a standing split. Then I'm going to lift up, and then I'm going to step the left foot off. All right? So place the blocks down on the highest setting and put your left foot on the wall. And you may have to play around with the measurement. You want your leg extended and your standing leg extended. Notice how that makes a right angle in your legs. Now check your back foot out. You want your heel in line with your hip. Now, some people, especially if you danced a little bit, you'll want to open up that hip. So you want to come down a little bit with your foot, come all the way down. Oh, my God. So now I have a closed hip. So in reality, what I want to do, Jen, you may want to switch legs and go with your left leg first, is that I want the sacrum closed so that I could put a teacup on your sacrum and I wouldn't spill any tea. All right? Yeah, that's what you want. So you don't want an open hip. You want a closed hip. Now, push into your hands. Look forward at the wall in front of you. Notice how your hips and your shoulders are in line with each other. Then come onto your fingertips. Maybe you'll stay there. Notice how that activates the muscles of your shoulders. Then reach your arms back along your body without collapsing or lifting up, and stay. Exhale 1, good. Inhale. Exhale 2, good. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, gently put your left hand down. Yeah. Now put pressure in your left hand. Inhale, lift your right arm up and look over your right shoulder. And notice if you're bending your standing knee, push through it to find balance. Exhale 1, because it would be really hard if that foot wasn't on the wall behind you. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, gently put your right hand down on the block. And inhale, lift your head and chest, come to a flat back. And exhale, fold forward and walk your blocks back so your blocks are in line with your toes. Standing split with a closed hip. Inhale. Exhale 1, good. Inhale, engage. Exhale 2, push here. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. And inhale, lift the head and chest. You notice how much bend you have here? And then step the left foot next to the right. And then the only way to make it untight is go for it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Listen, look up real quick. So everybody come stand up for a moment. So hamstrings, if hamstrings are tight, listen, hamstrings are the easiest thing to stretch. Why? It's probably the only muscle in your body that's actually a straight line. There's 3 hamstrings. There's not 1, there's 3. But they attach right here, all 3 of them, and then come to the back here. And then they break behind the knee joint, and then they start again to the Achilles heel. So it's one line of energy. Unlike, like trying to stretch like the glute or the hip, which wraps around something. So push. Give it a push. You're not going to break it. You can tear your hamstring, but it's like that crazy CrossFit stuff where people picking up tractor tires and throwing it. Like I've known people to tear their hamstrings doing that. Or like if in asana, not being warmed up and trying to do Hanumanasana, a split cold. Yeah, you can then tear your hamstring then. But this push. All right. Switch it over. Put your right foot on the wall. Yeah. And check your right foot out. You may want to turn that foot out. I know. Because it just feels natural to you. But then you're going to lower it down so that, like I said, you're going to be like a teacup. I could put a teacup here. Oh my God. Oh my God. There you go. Then really come onto your little fingertips. Notice how that activates your lateral muscles and your scapula and your trapezoids. And then reach your arms back. Balance on your standing foot. Really push your heel into the wall. Exhale 1. Push your other heel into the floor. Exhale 2. Inhale. Good. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale. Put your right hand down. Ground down through your right hand. Inhale. Lift your left arm up and twist. Exhale 1. Keep extending through the legs to find strength. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Then put the left hand down. And then exhale, fold forward over your left leg. Walk your hands back. Oh my God. There you go. Inhale. Exhale 1. Try to keep that closed hip. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Good. Inhale, step your right foot next to your left and fold over your legs. Inhale, bend the knees, raise the arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, come stand up. Tadasana, mountain seat. All right, everybody, come to the front of your mat and move your blocks off to the side. Yep. And then I say step away from the edge of the mat, probably about a foot. Just give yourself a little place for your hands. Then bring your big toes and heels to touch. Bring your hands together in undulating mudra. Rise high on the balls of your feet like you're in high heel shoes. And like those RuPaul drag race shoes, those big tall ones, not the little short ones, not the tasteful ones. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees and descend your seat toward your lifted heels. Keep pressing your heels together to find the balance. As you come down and your seat touches your heels, open up your knees and put your hands on the floor underneath your shoulders. Now lift your knees up and squeeze your upper arms with your knees, or get your knees in your armpits. Both are correct. Then bend your elbows a little bit and tilt forward into your hands. And as you tilt forward, look past your yoga mat at the floor. And then lift your toes up and get your toes to touch like little tail feathers of a bird. Bakasana. It's a crane, it's a crow, it's a bird. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Good. It's okay if you fall. Exhale, 2. Good. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, put your feet on the floor and come sit down. Good. And extend your legs out in front of you. Yeah. So the cool thing about that, is in reality, when you think about crow, right? The knees bend because the hamstring is contracting. It's not stretching anymore. It's contracting to lift the heels up and get the toes together. In Paschimottanasana, here again, hamstrings are extending and stretching, right? And so, like, what does that hamstring do? Like, in reality, it gets us to be able to stand up and lift, but it also bends the knees back. That's hamstring working. In fact, I feel the contraction right here behind. So when I bend, I'm actually contracting them and making them stronger and tighter. Interesting, because people tell you, oh, tight hamstrings, bend your knees. You go other places, bend your knees, bend your knees. I say, no, straighten your legs. Get your hands on blocks. Put a little weight forward. Same thing in Paschimottanasana. If you can't reach your feet, then use a prop. Lift up nice and tall. Pull your toes back. And then exhale, fold forward and hold on to the outside of your feet. Now, this is actually called Paschimottanasana B. A is you grab the tops of your feet. B, the side of your feet. C, you hold on to the opposite wrist in front of your feet. So all are good. They're different, but they're good. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Inhale, lift the head and chest. And exhale, hands by the hips. Dandasana, staff seat. On the inhale, bend your right knee and open up your right knee. Put your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Now, notice how that when you come into an asymmetrical asana, there's more space to fold forward. Dorsiflex your left foot and exhale, fold forward, hold on to your left foot. Notice how like all of a sudden you may be like, oh, look, I can really fold forward and I can get my belly on my thigh. Why? Because all of a sudden one hamstring has relaxed because you've contracted it to bend the knee and you just made more space. Exhale 1. It's very interesting. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Then inhale. Lift the head and chest to lift the right knee up. Step the right foot on the outside of your left thigh. Dorsal flex your left foot. Inhale, lift your left arm up. And then exhale, bring your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh and bring your right hand behind you, giving a good twist here. And pull your left toes back. Keep working on that hamstring. Exhale 1. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. And inhale, come back to center line. And then exhale, counter twist over to the opposite side, keeping the shoulders over the hips. And then come back to center and exhale, extend the right leg. Look at there. And so I would say that like because the body is part of nature, to start to understand how the body works, you're understanding how nature works. They relate to each other. They're not separated from each other. Bend the left knee, open up the left knee, put your left foot on the inside of your right thigh for a little Janu Shirshasana first, and then twist the torso over your right leg. And then exhale, fold forward over the left leg. So, that may be also the same thing is true, that like there may be ways of you finding ways that if you're very like symmetrical, like there's lack of space in nature, but if it's asymmetrical, there may be more space. Or things that like, what does contraction mean in nature and what does relaxation mean in nature? Does something have to contract for something to relax? Yes. Even in nature. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On the inhale, lift the head and chest up. And then as you lift the head and chest up, lift your left knee up. Put your left foot on the outside of your right thigh. Then pull your right toes back. Lift your right arm up. And then twist over to the left. Look over the left shoulder. And even here, if you really think about it, to get into a twist, there has to be resistance. The resistance is your right elbow on the outside of your left leg. That pushing into your left leg with your right arm twists your torso. So restriction and contraction and force are important, even in yoga asana. It's not all relaxation, is it? Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, counter twisting. Inhale, come center. And exhale, extend your left leg. Bend both your knees. Put your heels where your knees were. Feet or hips width distance apart. Parallel to each other. So you're going to bring a little space between your feet. Unless you're Italian table, you'll have 3 legs. On your inhale, lift your hips up. Let your head go back. Little tabletop. Now notice to lift your hips, what has to contract? Your glutes. Exhale 1. Your post-anterior chain because the knees are bent. Exhale 2. That's what gets you in a back bend. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, come down. And now cross one ankle over the other. I don't care which one. Roll over the shins, come onto your hands and knees, and bring yourself back to the wall. Okay, so from here, we're going to turn our Warrior 3 upside down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure everything out. I'm going to put my feet against the wall. My knees are underneath my hips. My hands can be slightly in front of my shoulders, but not by much. So in other words, the roll of my shoulder up here matches with the wrist crease. And so just watch. I'm going to lift my knees up. I'm going to step my left foot onto the wall, no higher than my left hip. I'm going to step my right foot up. Now my knees may be bent for a minute, but then I'm going to straighten my legs. And I'm going to look back at my feet. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths. Then I'm going to lift the right leg up like a warrior 3. I'm going to stay for 5 breaths. Then I'm going to put the right foot next to the left. I'm going to lift the left leg up. I'm going to stay for 5 breaths. I'm going to push the floor away if I get tired. And then I'm going to put the left foot on the wall. I'm going to walk down with control and rest in a child's seat. Okay, your turn. Lift your knees up. Now, step your left foot onto the wall, no higher than your left hip. So you should be able to see your left big toe behind you. Now step your right foot next to the left and straighten your legs. As you straighten your legs, push your chest back toward the wall and look at your shins. Yeah. Now, stay here for 5 breaths. Good. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, lift your right leg up into the air. As you lift your right leg up, see if you can straighten this left leg more. Exhale 1. Yeah, look at there. Exhale 2. Aha. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, put your right foot on the wall. Inhale, lift your left leg up into the air, extending your right leg. Notice if there's more space. Exhale 1. Inhale, because it's asymmetrical. Exhale 2. Maybe the tightness has disappeared. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, put your left foot on the wall, bend your knees, walk down the wall, and rest in a child's seat. Interesting, right? All of a sudden, you lift the leg in the air, and there's pressure that's released when it's just both feet on the wall. Now, that handstand that we just did is actually harder than kicking up into the wall and extending your legs facing the wall, like a regular handstand. Why? Because you got to open up the shoulders, and you really got to activate the muscles in your hips to stay up also. Exhale 1 in a different way than if your legs are just up in the air. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale 8. Now, just lift your torso up. Move away from the wall a little bit. Come into a downward facing dog. And then come forward to a plank. Look it forward. And with bent elbows and control, the slowest chaturanga you've ever done in your entire life, resisting coming down as much as possible until you come down on your belly. All right. Now your hands are by your chest. Slide yourself back so that the pads of your toes are on the wall. The pads of the toes. And then walk the pads of your toes up past that black molding. Yep. And then bring your toes to touch and push your little pads of your toes into the wall like you're a tree frog holding on. Then lift your chest, lift your arms, and reach your arms back, pushing your toes into the wall, lifting up as you extend through your legs. Good for you. Inhale. Exhale 1, Shalabhasana. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, come down, relax. Bend your knees, reach back, grab your ankles. Pull your navel toward the spine. On your inhale, kick your feet up into your hands and try to touch the wall with your toes. Exhale 1. So you're kicking back. And here again, what are your hamstrings doing? They're contracting. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5, right? So it's now, like what I say see the, like when you're like talking about hamstrings, and here I think this is a wonderful thing because you don't look at your hamstrings ever. You feel them. So notice like to get into a back bend, those hamstrings have to be tight and contract. So there's nothing wrong with them being tight. That's what lifts you up off the floor, right? Without the hamstrings being able to contract, can't lift up in a back bend because you're stretching the front. Bend your knees, grab your ankles again. And on your inhale, kick back into your hands, activating the glutes and the hamstrings. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, come down and relax. A little of the Vinyasa, bring the hands next to the chest, elbows close to the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your heels may be on the wall, that's okay. Inhale, come forward to a plank. And exhale, the knees, the chest, the chin to the floor. Inhale, slide forward, cobra. And exhale, come down and roll over onto your back and bring your head to the wall. So you're going to spin yourself around as you come lay down on your back. All right. Now, from here, bend your knees, tickle your heels with your fingertips. Feet are going to be hips width distance apart, 2 fists. On the inhale, lift the hips to lower the middle back. As you lift all the way up, bring your arms underneath your back and clasp your hands together in a fist. Yeah, and then try to get your shoulders underneath you. That's the hard part. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Come down the middle back, the lower back, and the hips. Now, everybody, take your 2 blocks and let's put our blocks like a little ramp, putting the edge of the block on that black molding. So you want it right there on that edge. And that little black molding will hold that block. It'll catch it right there. All right? Yep. And then lay down with your head in between the blocks. Now, lift your arms up toward the sky and wrap your fingers around the bottom edge of the block. Yeah, and then push the block toward the wall, okay? Now, your knees are bent. Feet are about hips width distance apart. On your inhale, lift your head, chest, legs, and hips and arms and everything up in the air, coming into an Urban Sadhu. Exhale 1. Inhale, good. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, bring the chin in the chest and come down the upper, the middle, the lower back. Is that easier doing it that way? Yeah. It's easier because you change the flexion of your wrist, which means you change the rotation of the shoulder, and you actually have more mobility and more range of motion in the shoulder to come up. Let's do it again. Place your hands next to your head. On your inhale, come back up. Exhale 1, good. Inhale. Exhale 2, good. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Bring the chin and chest and come down the upper, the middle, the lower back. Good for you. We'll do one more of those. Place the hands next to the head. On the inhale, come back up. Exhale 1. Good. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, bring the chin in the chest and come down the upper, the middle, the lower back. Now bend your knees into your chest. Now it's all over. And we always do like 3 of those. One, I think that like if you just did one, you wouldn't get the benefits of opening up the chest and the shoulders. It just wouldn't be enough. A little twist, bring the knees over to the left. Extend the right arm out. Shavasana is going to be great. With a punk rock band outside. All right. And then bring the knees back into the chest. And then go to the other side, twisting. All right, then come back to center and take your 2 blocks and move them over to the sides, okay? And then rock up to a seated position and come sit with a shoulder against the wall and a hip against the wall, and then roll over onto your back with your legs up the wall in an L shape. We've been making L shapes all day, right? We've been making these 90-degree angles all day. So now we're going to come into, as our final inversion, Viparina Karani. So this translates as attitude reversal. But what I like about it is if you have a little tight hamstring, this is great. And listen, I'm going to give you another secret. If you have a doorway where you can do one leg at a time in this, your hamstring will open up, and just lay there, read a book, and then do one leg 10 minutes, do the other leg 10 minutes. So that would mean like a corner like this, where this leg would extend out if you had, and then you'd flip it around and do the other one. It'll open up that attachment right at the glute where you're feeling it. And notice just how many times we made this L shape and this right angle in the practice today. We did it upside down. We did it as a downward dog. We did it as an L-shaped handstand. We did it in other asanas like triangle and trikonasana. And in reality, we're really finding these right angles in our body, which means we can find them in nature, which we can align then with nature and attune ourselves with nature. Once we attune ourselves with nature and when we're in harmony with nature and in balance with nature, then it really is easy to move beyond those gunas and find yoga. And then bend your knees, put your feet on the wall, and open up your knees to the side. And you can bring your feet together in a prayer position and just take your hands to your inner thighs and suggest an external rotation of the thighs, and the knees will come toward the wall. And you can put a lot of pressure in your thigh. You don't want to put it in your knee joint, but that quadricep muscle in front of your thigh, take a lot of pressure. And then lift the knees together and then roll over to one side. I don't mind which side, just don't run into anything or anybody. And then move away from the wall. And let's come into a little bit of a shavasana. So you can take a blanket, put a blanket underneath your knees. You can put a blanket on top of you, whatever's going to make you comfortable. And you know, I guess this is part of yoga too, is that, you know, you have to kind of find that state of relaxation even in chaos. So this is actually a very good practice, to like be able to relax even with a kind of loud noises and music around you, that you stay in a very even, balanced, sattvic frame of mind, even though the world is chaotic around you. So closing the eyes, let go of Mula Bandha, let go of the Ujjayi Pranayama, and just let the body become heavy and absorbed into the earth, Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen the breath. And as you deepen the breath, make small movements with the fingers and the toes. Stretch the arms overhead. And stretch the arms and legs in opposite directions. Bend the knees into the chest. Give the knees a little hug. And then gently roll over to the right side. And pressing the left palm into the floor, lift the torso up. And come up to a seated position. Just close the eyes for a second. And notice any subtle shifts after the practice. And inhale deeply. And exhale everything out. Inhale for the sound of Om. 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 Shanti. 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 Bringing the hands in undulating mudra, bowing the head slightly to meet the hands. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. May there be peace within myself, peace with those around me, but most of all, universal peace. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Thank you for visiting. Did you just move here? You're just visiting. Where are you visiting from? Chicago, the Windy City.